My name is Theresa Eastman. I'm a Lakota Native American, and I grew up on the Rosebud Reservation in South Dakota. As a child, I was raised in the Catholic boarding school in St. Francis. It was an unhappy place, and the nuns were mean and told me that I'd never amount to anything. When I was 7, my father died, and my mother couldn't deal with it and fled to California and left us kids on our own. I was put in a foster care and neglected and abused in those settings. Finally, at the age of 15, I just walked off the reservation, vowing never to return. The years that followed were filled with pain. I had 8 children by 5 different men. The men were abusive and neglectful. I was angry and violent and became an alcoholic. I ended up losing custody of all my kids because of the multiple DUIs I got. I became a prostitute and an addict. I was sad and angry, and all I had ever learned was to drown my sorrow with chemicals, but everything just got worse. Years into this life, I ended up in jail for a year. During that year, there was a Bible, and I started to read. I had been told by the spiritual leaders on the reservation not to read that book, but I did it anyway. I was at the bottom, and I told God that if He was real, to show Himself to me. And as I read the book for so many hours, God began to speak to me, and I saw that His word was true. And one Easter day, I surrendered my heart to Jesus Christ and put my faith in Him, and He came into my life. But sadly, the day I got out of jail, I went right back to the drinking and prostitution. I was so ashamed and felt like I had betrayed the one person who had ever really loved me. I felt hopeless. But one very cold night in Minneapolis, with temperatures way below zero, I was lying under a bridge trying to keep warm under a blanket when I heard singing in the distance. There had been a song in my mind for a few days before that. I had tried to figure it out. I had gone into the basilica to see if I could find it, but I couldn't. But now, under this dark bridge, I heard that song. It was the song Amazing Grace, and some young women were singing it as they came with lights and blankets and food to help the homeless under the bridge. They took me out of there that night. That was the beginning of God rescuing me and setting my feet on a new path of following Jesus. In 2018, I moved back to my land on the Rosebud Reservation, and the vision that God gave me for having a house of prayer for all nations on that land is coming true. God has been restoring my children to me, and I minister in the jails every week. Jesus has forgiven me and set me free, and through His living word, the Bible, He speaks to me every day. Amen.